Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and flavour-filled topics in the world of specialty coffee processing, because behind every great cup is a cherry. And what happens to that cherry after harvest? Changes everything. Coffee beans are actually seeds from the fruit of the coffee plant, and what happens to that fruit after it's harvested can dramatically shape the final flavour in your cup. There are many processing methods, but the two most common are natural and washed. Let's start with natural. The natural process, also known as the dry process, is the oldest method of preparing coffee. Here's how it works. After the coffee cherries are picked, they're laid out to dry in the sun with the fruit still intact. This can take days or even weeks depending on the climate. As the cherries dry, the sugars and flavours of the fruit seep into the seed, the bean, giving it a unique, often intensely fruity character. Once the cherries are fully dried, the shriveled skin and fruit are mechanically removed, leaving behind the green coffee bean. So what does this mean for taste? Natural coffees tend to be bold and sweet, with notes of berries, tropical fruits, or even wine, and often have a heavier body and rich mouthfeel. If you've ever had a coffee that tastes like strawberries or blueberry jam, chances are it was a natural, but there's a trade-off. Because the fruit stays on during drying, it's harder to control fermentation. If conditions aren't ideal, the beans can develop unpleasant or overly funky flavours. That's why a well-executed natural coffee is a real skill and a treat. Now let's talk about the washed or wet process, the most widely used method, especially in Central and South America.